everyone, welcome back to a very exciting tutorial. I'm very happy about this one because I have always wanted to recreate animations like Apple. And with this tutorial right here, you can do that very easily with Framer in less than 5 minutes. So without further ado, let's just get started. So I have my desktop screen here, and here you see I also have a few YouTube videos. I'll show you later how we have, embedded the link here. And I also have a few images from the Apple TV series. Now what I'm going to do here is, first of all, I'm going to change the color here. Let's just change it to a hex code. I'm just putting some random black color here. You can replicate the same hex code or just do whatever you like. It's just a shade of black. And I'm going to make this really big in height. Like I'm going to stretch it so that I can have the entire scroll area. I'm going to enable layout in here, and I'm going to create a frame by pressing F on my keyboard. This will automatically stick to the top because we have layout on here. We'll change the width to 100% fill, and we will also change the height to maybe somewhere around 2800 pixels here. So this has to be a really long area because you'll have to, this is the entire scroll section. So this is where the scroll will take place. So we make it longer. And next, we are going to get rid of the fill here, so I'm going to cross it out. Let's just enable the layout here as well. Now we're going to make another frame inside of this, but before, let's just rename this layer to scroll container, because this is the container for our entire scroll. So let's just select this again and press F on our keyboard and create another frame right inside it. So now this is automatically aligned to center, so we need to set the distribution to start, and we are going to change the width here. We're going to make sure it covers the entire area. So we'll go to width, select relative, and change it to 100%. We'll also change the height to viewport 100% because we want it to cover the 100% of the viewport height. So we'll change that to 100 ph. Now let's just rename this to slideshow container, because this is where the slideshow will be running for all the movie teasers or the trailers that we have. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make this sticky on top, because this section, the entire area which you see here, the slideshow, will be sticky on top till you finish the scroll. Now making it sticky on scroll has changed the viewport height, so we'll bring it back to 100 and remove the fill. So now we have our frame all set to drag and drop our slideshow interactive element in here. So let's go to insert interactive. We'll find the slideshow option, so which we're going to select. Let's just drag and drop it inside our slideshow container. Now we haven't enabled the layout for the slideshow container, so we're going to go and enable the layout right here. And let's just set the distribution to center because we want the video to be in the center of the frame. Now it's time for us to resize the video in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the height and change it to relative. I'm going to make it 100% because we want the height to cover the 100% of the slideshow container at all times. And we're going to change the width here to somewhere around 1600. Just have to ensure that the aspect ratio is similar to the video thumbnails right here. Now we'll connect these dots to the thumbnails right here. It is as easy, it's super intuitive, like the entire interface. Now let's just go to desktop and see if it's working. It is working, but it's switching too quickly and it's not even sticking to the top. Well, we definitely have a lot of, things to fix in here, starting with the overflow settings. Now, whenever we use a sticky frame, we have to ensure that all its parent components have overflow settings set to visible, which we have not done here. That's why it's not working. So once we have done that, we'll see even while we're scrolling down, the video is sticking on top, but still moving too quickly. So we'll have to go back and we'll go to the slideshow component right here. And we'll have to change the settings in here. So what we'll do is we'll enable autoplay. We will change the intervals because it was switching too quickly. We'll change it to, 6 seconds. Let's just go further down. And in here, we have an option to adjust the gap. I'm going to make it maybe not 20. Let's just make it 50 pixels. And I'm also going to change other things here. We want the clipping to show, and we don't want it to clip. We want the other videos to show. And we will also change the arrows here because it's too small right now. So I want to make the arrows bigger in size. I'm going to bring it all the way up to 80. And rest of the settings look okay here. So let's just cross that out. I'm also going to get rid of the dots in here because we don't want it in this particular example. So let's just get rid of that. Now when I play it, it looks much better. It's sticky on top, and the time interval in method switching is also okay. So this looks better. Now if you're thinking how we got the videos in here, so I'll tell you about this YouTube components. We'll go to insert media in YouTube. When you click on YouTube, you get an option to sort of add a YouTube video. You can embed your video link here. You can have other options like autoplay, like in this case I've turned it on. You have an option to mute it, color, and all of those things. You can add a radius. So that's how we've added the videos right here. It's pretty cool, pretty simple. You also have an option to upload your own video. So once that is done, we will start working on the scroll transformation. So selecting scroll container, we are going to go to scroll section and name it video section, because this is the area that we have defined for the, the scroll transformation to work. Now we'll go to slideshow here. Go all the way to effects, and let's add an effect and go to scroll transform. So you'll get an option to sort of change the trigger here, section and view, and we can change the section to video section. We'll get that option now. And let's change the from effect here. So we want the opacity to be 1, scale to be 1, and we want to reduce it in size as we scroll. So we'll change the scale to 0.5. So once that is done, let's just go back and change the transition to spring, because we want it to be a very smooth transition. Now when we play it, we'll see how smoothly the sort of scales down, and once you scroll up, it sort of takes up the entire area again. And after 6 seconds of interval, it switches to a new video, and you can sort of come back to the original size. You can use the arrows to move to another video, and that's awesome. I love it. Now what if we want to sort of pause the video when we hover over it? We don't want to move to another video, so we'll just select the slideshow again and go to effects. In here, we're going to change the option on hover to pause. This will ensure when you're on a video and you are hovering over it, it doesn't switch to another video even after 6 seconds. So yeah, you can manually select it. You can move to another video using the arrows, or you can be on that video and just watch the entire video being on it. So let's just come back from the preview mode here, and I want to add some text right here. So let's just so by pressing T on the keyboard, I've enabled the text option, and I'm going to write cinematic in every sense, and let's just make it center aligned and place it right here. Now I want it to be placed on top of the video, so I'm going to change the type to absolute and make sure it's inside the slideshow container, and I'm going to pin it to the bottom and change the padding to 16. So yeah, this looks better. Now I want to add scroll transformation for the text as well. So we'll go to scroll transform, change the trigger to section in view, and choose section video section in here. We'll change the from effect opacity 1, scale 1. 2, we'll change it to opacity 0, because we want the opacity to reduce with scroll, and change the transition to spring. So now when you play it, you'll see how it starts with 100% opacity, and when you scroll it, it'll, fade away. So it looks very nice. It looks very classy. So yeah, let's just go back. So I'm going to add another section right here under the first section, under the first scroll. So what we're going to do is let's just select the text that we have on top and copy paste it and create a new section. Now I'm going to select this text and change it to all Apple TV, all Apple originals, only on Apple TV Plus. So yeah, this is okay now. And let's just change it to relative. Well, I have messed up only spelling, so let's just correct that. So yeah, this looks good. Let's just increase the size here a little bit. I want it to be slightly bigger, so I'm going to make it 70. And I'm also going to change the size up here and change it to 70 as well. So yeah, now let's start with the interesting part again. Go to Insert, Interactive, and let's add ticker. Let's drag and drop it inside the artboard, and we'll change the width to fill, and we're going to change the height to the height of the cover photo here, which is 320 pixels. So we'll change the height to 320 here. So yeah, this looks cool, and we're going to duplicate it. Now, because this is going beyond the desktop screen, we're going to change the height to fit content so that it accommodates all the tickers components properly. And we're also going to change the gap here to 30 pixels, just so we have like a nice padding here. Now we're going to connect these dots to the cover photos that we have, just like that, very simple. And we're going to change the properties of the ticker next. So let's just go here and change the direction. I want this direction. I want the gap to be 30, because the height is also 30, so let's just change that to 30. And let's just also ensure that the clipping is not fading and the overflow is visible again, because we want the endless scroll to work in that way. And let's just change, let's just do that for the other ticker components as well. Let's just connect it to the cover photos and repeat the entire process. I'm going to push this down a little bit so it's better visible. So yeah, all we have to do is repeat the entire process.
We could leave the Christmas lights up till January. This is our place, we make the rules. And there's a dazzling haze, a mysterious way about you, dear. Have I known you 20
Now once that is done, let's just go back up and view it and see how it looks for now before we change other properties. So now when you're scrolling, cinematic in every sense is visible, but the text is not visible. The heading for this section is not visible. And that is because we had copy pasted the text before, so we have also copy pasted the effects. That is why it's not visible. So now when you sort of remove that effect, it's going to be visible. Also, I'm going to create another stack here because the padding here seems slightly off. So I'm going to create a stack for the ticker. And I'm going to change the stack properties. The height will be fit content. And let's just select the heading also and create another stack. And change the height to fit content again. So yeah. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way to overflow and make it visible. We're going to select this stack that we made before for the ticker, change the overflow settings to visible again, and we're going to select the final stack that we have here. Let's just rename it to section 2 to avoid any confusion. Let's just select section 2, and we're going to ensure that we add some gap here so that there's good amount of padding in between the title and the section. I'm also going to select the ticker component here and reduce the speed because the scroll was moving really fast. So I'm going to change that to 40%. And we're going to do that for all the ticker components. And let's just reduce the padding, increase the gap in between the ticker components also. I don't want the padding here. Let's just let be 0. I'm going to change the gap to be around 30. So yeah, this looks better. Now let's just play it. So the video is loading. It's cinematic in every sense. And let's just go down and we have the title visible. And the ticker is also moving in opposite directions. So that is great. It looks awesome. Now I want to try one more thing. So I'm going to set the ticker section here, ticker component. And I'm going to go to transforms and go all the way to rotate. We're going to add 3D rotation here. On the y-axis, let's just add somewhere around 20 degrees. And I also want to add some perspective. Let's just change the rotation to maybe 30 degrees to make it even more evident. And let's just do that for all the tickers. Now for the second one, I'm going to go to rotate again. And go to 3D rotation. Add minus 30 degrees here because I want it to be in the opposite direction. Add perspective and the same perspective value. Now moving on to the third ticker, we're going to do the same thing. Let's just go to rotate, 3D, change the perspective to 30 degrees and go back to transforms, add perspective and change it to 1200. So yeah, this is done. Let's just view it once and see how it looks. So yeah, that looks pretty cool from all angles, honestly. I mean, the 3D effect is looking very cool in here. I don't know if you noticed yet, but when you scroll up, you scale up the video which is in view, so it looks very natural. So when you're scrolling down, it sort of works very smoothly, and you look at the sticker happening right under, and when you sort of scroll up, you zoom into the movie that is in view. It sort of works in a synchronized manner. So yeah, that's all for this tutorial. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
You